It's a no-sew mask. You do not need to stitch or hand sew any part of this particular mask. I'm using a bright colored t-shirt to make this because since masks have become the new normal, might as well use a nice bright color. I'm just getting started. So this is the base of the t-shirt. It's why I'm still asking you to use a t-shirt is because t-shirts do not fray. I mean, the knit material doesn't fray so much. So even if you use a unfinished and a non-stitched side, it's still okay. So here I'm taking 5 inches as the dimension, top to bottom. This is standard size, but if you think that you need a slightly bigger kind of mask which would cover more of your face, let's say you have a big face or something, you could make it, instead of 5, you could make it maybe 5.5 or 6 inches. So I'm taking an approximate center. A quick way of getting the center of any piece of fabric is to fold it, get the crease here, just press it a little so that you get a slight impression, and then make a mark to finalize that marking. Now you've got your 5 inches marking here. All you need to take is 8 inches in the center. So I'm going to take 4 inches on the right and 4 inches on the left. Straight line on one side and do 8 inches here. Now this block that you see is our mask. This is the portion which is going to cover your face, right? This D here is going to be the outer cutting, and then you're going to remove the smaller D from the inside. I'm just going to cut one layer of this t-shirt. This is a very simple method. Anybody can make it at home. It requires no stitching at all, no use of needle at all, because in the last video a couple of you mentioned that you would not like to stitch, so, or maybe you cannot stitch, or maybe you don't have the material to stitch. So I just decided to make a design which doesn't require stitching at all. I'm going to show you how it looks on the face as well. Here you go. So this is your mask. So this is the first mask. This goes right on your face, behind your ear, and there, right? Now this is the remaining portion, and I am going to start making the other design. I'm just going to kind of extend this line further. So right, so it just kind of bothers me when there is so much fabric which is not required still hanging out there somewhere. So I just cut a plain strip there, just so that my construction would be simpler and my measurements would also be simpler. So now I'm taking this seam again, resting it on the bottom seam, pressing it a little so that I can get the point here, and I'm going to quickly mark it, ferret it out using a chalk. You can use a pen, pencil, anything, because these are just rough marks. Now I'm going to take again 8 inches is something which is standard. You can take it if you have a big face, you can take it 9 inches, or if you're a child, you're making it for a child, then you could keep it 6 to 7 inches depending on the age group of the child. So 4 inches is the center point, so 4 here and 4 here makes it 8 inches. Again, from this center point I'm going to measure 4 here, 4 here, I'm making a line just so that I don't get confused later on when I'm cutting other portions. This is a tie-on method. So you could choose a t-shirt which has a thicker material than the usual, night suit t-shirts. So this t-shirt is actually a discarded one, but it's a bright color, that's why I chose it. I don't really discard things so easily, but I managed to do that. Actually, it had some branding on it. It wasn't a neutral t-shirt, so I was forced to wear it at home only. So, but the color is a good one, so there it wins. Beyond this goes the face, right? So here is your second type of mask. So these are the two masks. I forgot to mention here when I was cutting it, it's again between 1/2 inch to 1 inch. That's sort of a size. This is actually literally 3/4 of an inch. Very similar to the other string in the second option that I had cut. In the second option, you will see that since the size of this t-shirt was small, the side seam, there are 2 stitches of the side seam, but they may rip at some point. You may want to sew it here, or you could just kind of make another one once you're done with it. Also, just make sure you wash your masks every time after you go out, after they're exposed to the air outside. This is your second mask. So how you wear that is you put it on your face, you tie it, and there you go.